Hey, I heard that you were going to be getting married from Mom. So, tell me, who's the lucky guy? Probably some poor sap really down on his luck, huh?
Hey there, sis. Glad to see that you're as rude as ever. I guess that means you must be doing well then, right?
So it is true. Are you really going to be getting married? What's the person like? I bet they're just some scammer after your money. Who else would want to marry you?
Can you please just cut it out already, Teresa? I mean, we haven't talked in ages, and this is how you greet your little sister? I thought you might have been just a little more excited to hear that I was getting married. Or is it that your life is going so horribly that you have nothing better to do but take others down?
You wish that were the case, dork. I just want to remind you that no matter how hard you try, you'll never be happy. Especially not as happy as I am with my amazing husband. You're just a bottom-dwelling piece of trash, and nothing is going to change that.
Okay, did you message me because you wanted to talk about something, or is this it? Because I never remember even asking you to message me for anything. If you want to congratulate me on my wedding, then do so and leave me alone.
Oh, right, that reminds me. I heard about where it was that you were going to be holding your wedding.
I guess news really does travel fast these days, doesn't it?
You really think that your wedding is going to be good enough to make it worth holding at a place like that? What are you, a moron or something?
What are you even talking about, Teresa? If you have a problem with where I'm holding my wedding, then you should just come out and say it. Why are you even acting like this anyways? We're both adults, but sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who acts like it.
Oh, really? You think you're so much more mature than me, huh? Well, I think that you're just getting upset because you know that what I'm saying is true.
I really don't think that at all. Like, even one bit.
All I'm saying is that the place you got for your wedding is way too good for the likes of you. And just how many people are you going to be inviting anyways? You seriously need to learn your place.
Wait a second. Are you just mad about where I'm getting married because it's in a bigger venue than where you did?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you really think I would let myself be bothered by something so stupid? I just think that you're getting a bit uppity and need to stay where you belong.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I don't think there's anything to be worried about. My fiancé made the reservations, and I think most of the guests there are going to be his anyways. He was going to be inviting friends and family, but also some people from his work as well as business partners. Does that make you feel better about the whole thing?
So what? Your husband works for some kind of big company or something like that? Is that your way of trying to brag about him to me?
No, he doesn't work for a company or anything like that at all.
Wait, what? So then he's just a freelancer or something like that then?
No, he's not that either. He just invests in the stock market and makes money that way. I don't really know all the details personally.
Wait, what? Is that the best you could come up with? So, basically, you're getting married to some small-time freelancer, and you think I'm not going to go after you for that.
Well, it would certainly mean a lot to me if you didn't bully me for who I'm going to marry. I don't really see how who I marry or where I do is really any concern of yours. So I think you'd be better off just not worrying about that at all.
You really are a stupid little girl, do you know that? Sometimes I wish I could live in the fantasy world that you've made for yourself.
I'm sorry, Teresa, but putting down others isn't going to change anything about your own life. Maybe you should just worry about your own stuff and leave me alone. Anyways, when I have more details about the wedding, I'll let you know. But don't think you're under any obligation to be there. I would hate for you to lower yourself just for me.
I found out who your husband is, Max.
What are you talking about this time, Teresa?
I really couldn't believe that it was him when I saw what he was wearing while going out into town. You really did marry some lowly little freelancer, didn't you?
Teresa, I really think you have no idea what you're even talking about.
No. I went around to where you live and I saw your husband going out. At first I was like, is that really her husband? I mean, I thought that you didn't have any sense of fashion, but this guy looked like he might have been homeless or something. Just what state could your home be in, I wonder?
Well, he works at home and was probably just going out to buy some lunch for himself. Is that really so weird to do? And just what are you doing coming around where I live to spy on us? That's pretty creepy, you know?
Creepy? How is it creepy for your older sister to see how you're living?
Well, I guess I don't really mind since we're going to be moving out soon, but still, can you quit creeping around us?
I knew it! I knew that you were too embarrassed to tell me about your husband because he's just some shut-in slob. Do our parents know that you're marrying this guy?
I didn't think I needed their permission to marry who I want. But what I do want is for you to quit creeping around my house and spying on me.
Man, I sure am glad that I married the man that I did. If I married some creepy-looking loser like you, I don't know how I would live with myself.
You seriously just need to learn to mind your own business and stay out of mine.
Hey there, sis. Just wanted to let you know that we won't be showing up to your wedding today.
Are you kidding me? The wedding starts in 10 minutes, Teresa.
That sounds like a you problem. You should just be grateful that I said anything to you at all. I know all about how you're just holding this wedding to scam people via wedding gifts. You just want everyone to buy you expensive stuff so that you can go and sell it all online and make a little money, huh? Well, my husband and I are just sitting here laughing at the state of your life right now.
And just where in the world did you get the idea that that was happening? It seems to me like you're very quick to judge about things you know nothing about. But are you seriously not going to show up to my wedding at all? Did you seriously just last minute cancel on your own sister's wedding?
It sure seems that way, doesn't it? But this is what you get for forgetting your place and trying to be something that you're not.
Well, thank you so much for texting me to remind me of that. And fine, don't show up. Have it your way.
I bet you two are dressed in just some of the shabbiest wedding clothes ever known to man. I can almost see it now. Man, what a sad, pathetic sight it's got to be.
Well, then don't bother coming. It sounds to me like you've already made up your mind about that.
I bet we're not the only ones who canceled. Who would even want to be there for you anyways?
Well, actually, things are going great, and there are even a few famous people at this great venue we booked. So we don't want or need your company.
Famous people? Is that supposed to be a joke?
No, it's not a joke. In fact, I just want you to know that I don't even think of you as my sister anymore. So even if you tried to come in, you wouldn't be able to. If you're curious for answers, maybe you should Google my husband's name and see what comes up.
Max, what the heck is the meaning of all this, huh? Why aren't I being let into your wedding? What the heck is going on?
I already told you that you wouldn't be able to get in if you tried, didn't I?
But you were being serious about that?
Of course I was. I didn't want you here ruining the day, not just for me, but for Mom and Dad, too. And just what are you doing showing up so late to my wedding anyways?
What am I doing? I want to know what you're doing. You said your husband was an investor, but when I Googled him, a bunch of TV clips came up where he's being interviewed about the market. I had no idea he was such a big deal in the finance world. Even I've heard of him, and I don't even follow that kind of news.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that, but what do you want me to do about it? You already knew what he looked like when you were spying on us, although he normally isn't dressed like that when he goes on TV.
But I had no idea what he even looked like, much less what he looked like in street clothes. And I had no idea that you were going to be marrying such a rich guy. But that means that you have to just be marrying him for his money, right? This is all just part of a big plot of yours, isn't it?
Can you please just give it a rest already, Teresa?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I work as an editor for a rather large business magazine. That's how we met. We bonded over mutual interests, and now we're getting married, and that's it.
But you're really just after him for his money, right? You should have introduced me to him when you met him. I'm a way better match for him than you are.
You literally had no idea who he was until just a moment ago. Can you please stop acting like you're owed anything?
But it isn't fair! I'm way prettier than you! Why do you get a husband like that?
I don't know what you want me to say to that. He is marrying me because he loves me, and that's that. If anyone is thinking about marrying someone just for the money, it's you. You had no interest in my fiancé at all until you found out who he really was. Don't try and lump me in with people like you.
What do you mean? Why are you being so mean to me? I didn't even do anything.
Except that you've been putting down my husband while knowing nothing about him, despite the fact that you've also been stalking us like a creep. So if you want to know why you're not being let into our wedding, you can start there.
But you're my sister? I have to be there at your wedding.
I thought I already told you that you aren't my sister anymore. I want nothing to do with you ever again. Got it?
You think you can treat me like this just because you're getting married to a rich guy? Well, I'll just steal him right from under you. What do you think of that?
I think that you're talking nonsense and you don't even realize what you're saying. And that's just another reason why we're not letting you in. You're just here to make a big scene and ruin my wedding.
But I haven't even done anything wrong. How can you just accuse me like that?
We literally hired security for our wedding with you showing up and trying to do something like you are right now in mind. All you're doing is embarrassing yourself right now. Why don't you save some of your pride and just go home already, Teresa?
But this isn't fair! I got dressed up and came all the way here, and now you're telling me that you're not going to let me in? It's outrageous. How could you do this to me? All I did was cancel at the last minute. Is that really so bad?
I think that you only have yourself to blame for all of this, and that it's not fair for you to act like I'm being unfair right now. Just leave and save yourself more embarrassment. You're being filmed by the security cameras, you know.
But I really want to go to your wedding now that I knew famous people are going to be there. You have to introduce me to someone, please.
Aren't you married?
Forget about that. What about after the wedding is over? Is there going to be a reception somewhere? Maybe I can just meet you all there, right? Please tell me where to go.
Just go home already, Teresa. You know, this wedding might show up in some newspapers somewhere. Can you please just go before people find out that we're related? You're going to embarrass me and our family.
Excuse me. I'm going to embarrass our family. How dare you look down on me like that? Who do you think you are? You know, Mom and Dad reached out to me after I told you I wasn't going to your wedding, and they told me to never contact them again. You're trying to cut me out of your life when I didn't even do anything. My life's falling apart right now, and it's all your fault. You have to help me out somehow.
Why should I help you out with anything when this is all your fault?
What do you mean by that? That doesn't make any sense.
I really don't know what you even think I can do for you at this point. There are already rumors flying around the wedding about the crazy lady asking to be let in. There would be no point in joining the wedding now. The best you can do is just turn around and go home to save face. All you're doing now is making yourself look bad.
I'm the one making me look bad. You've got some nerve telling that to me. This is all your fault, you little brat.
I don't have time for this anymore. I know that you've built yourself up by tearing me down, but I am not going to stand for it anymore. I am cutting you out of my life. Please never, ever contact me again. Just leave me alone, Teresa.
But what about the wedding? I still want in. You can't just turn me away like this. I'm really sorry for canceling last minute, but please?
I've already given you my answer. Now please go home and get out of my life. I just started ignoring my sister's texts. As she got more and more frustrated with not being let into the venue, she began acting out more and more. It got to the point where people began filming her antics and uploading them online, where she became somewhat viral. Her newfound popularity from screaming to be let inside of this celebrity wedding was enough to affect her husband, who was quickly identified after she went viral. It didn't take long after that for him to ask Teresa for a divorce. With no husband or family willing to talk to her, Teresa was left all alone. I'm sure she tried reaching out to me for help, but I had already blocked her on all social media, and she had no way of contacting me. Teresa hadn't worked since getting married and so had no savings of her own to speak of. I really have no idea what happened to her since then, but I've put her behind me and have concentrated on my own happiness with my loving husband and parents.